Welcome to Lowriters. We are a writing studio. So, what the fuck's a writing studio? I didn't know what that was either because to kind of rewind it a little bit, I've been doing screenwriting for over 10 years. I've done freelancing. I've worked on scripts. I've written scripts, paid stuff, some not paid stuff. You know how it goes. But over that time, I've always been like referred to by a friend of a friend to help workshop screenplays for other writers, a lot of times first time writers, uh, because my friends trust my decision making, I guess, which is, they have a lot more confidence in me than I do myself sometimes. But one thing that started popping up in my head is I would get into these workshops with these writers and have these really, really good sessions where we talk about their script, but we also start going into more like relevant tangents of like the art of screenwriting, the art of writing in general, and just sort of like creative staples that can kind of be challenged or our own contradictions to them, however you want to word that. And so I just sort of kind of popped in my head like, I know writing labs exist, but those are very specific. They take in writers working on particular scripts and they kind of gear them towards a particular aesthetic style, structure, format. Like you have the Sundance Screenwriting Lab. That's kind of all catered towards like the Sundance aesthetic, so to speak. And so I kind of was really like thinking like, oh, writing studio. And I Googled that and I didn't really find anything. I found what they were called, I guess, like writing houses or writing clubs, and another like writing foundries or something like that, where you pay a membership and you get a spot to go to a house or a location and you can sit and you have like your own little space and you can write and you can meet other writers. But they weren't really writing studios. And the key word here is studio. The same way film studios produce movies, I was kind of also looking at it in that way, but as I started doing more research, I got really into like architecture studios, design studios like for furniture, car like automotive studios, and more recently like web design studios. Kind of one of the things that all of those studios have in common is they are a creative space for artists to come in that are practicing in the same medium, so to speak, and they develop their skills, but they also challenge each other to kind of innovate the standard that's going on. They do that with cars. Like you've seen, if you type in car concepts, these automotive studios, they design cars that will never be made. But the whole idea is to kind of test the boundaries and limits of car design. Same thing with architecture. That's why you see these buildings that are kind of like unlivable, but that's really not the point. The point is to kind of like, again, test the boundaries. You see it in fashion. Fashion studios do the same thing. It took me a while to understand that. You see these runway shows with fashion models wearing these ridiculous outfits and you think it's all dumb, but there is like a means to the end of it. And so I kind of thought, I'm already doing these workshops. I already have these conversations with writers. Why not I give this a crack? So that's essentially kind of what this concept of a writing studio is. And again, I haven't really found a writing studio that exists. There might be one. I'm sure there is one. It probably just didn't pop up on the first page of Google. But the idea of a writing studio is to be kind of open source for the most part, to discuss the art of screenwriting, to challenge things of screenwriting. So it's like I want to be challenged as well in things that I put out on video, things that I say, but to also start bringing more writers in to develop their skill set, to enhance their scripts, and to also start hopefully putting out batches of scripts with writers who come through the studio that are innovative, that do challenge the rules, and that maybe could never be made into a movie, but they get people thinking differently about what screenwriting is and what that art could be. So that's essentially what a writing studio is. That's how I've defined it. This is something very new to me, so I'm still trying to figure shit out. But hopefully as the year goes on, it can become a lot more defined, and hopefully as more people join in and more people get involved, it can also build up into something close to that sort of end goal. So that's the best way I can define it. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Sometimes I say things and then as I speak them, I think this is really dumb. And I was explaining this to somebody at a bar and they were just looking at me like I was speaking like ancient like Egyptian or something like that. And so, but they always say something that's new is very confusing to a lot of people. So, yeah, that's basically, and I thought I should put a video out to at least explain what the fuck this actually is. And don't worry, I even don't know completely what it is, but that's sort of the foundation of which I'm coming through. So, that's about it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, follow us on Instagram, check out our website, do all that cool stuff. We're going to continue to build a website, and we're going to start selling merch pretty soon, so that's about it. That's all I have. That's the end. That's my punch out.